Do a quick demo so you guys know what the hell you're looking at. You should be able to see me, red, orange, and yellow guy. Obviously, my beard is much cooler than my skin, so that should make sense. But what do you think we're looking for in here?
Probably like brighter lights. I don't know, maybe whiteness.
Cold spots.
Cold spots.
Exact opposite of whiteness. We're looking for blue and black.
Blue and black.
That's the way I have it set up.
Sweet.
Exactly.
Like
so
the
any,
wall.
like the wall,
Gotcha.
anything with the glass is probably going to be black.
Yeah.
But what we're looking for are those blue and black spots to move or to take shape.
Okay.
When I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms and legs. That's what we've caught in the past. Does it capture that every night? Not necessarily. I'll get about, we'll just say 4 to 5 of those solid pieces per year, where I actually have a moving anomaly moving towards us that's in the shape of a person. But I also have a blue dot on there. I'm sure you guys noticed that. That is showing you the coldest spot in the frame at that particular moment. So I'm looking for 15 plus degree temperature drops. Our ambient temperature is 43 degrees, so I'll be looking for 28 and below. That's pretty damn cold.
Yeah.
So with
That's
that,
awesome, man.
so you're going to get the full video back of this, and anything that I find you'll get screenshots of. So even if it's just that little tiny blue dot that says 26 degrees, I'll show you a 26 degree spot where we actually can prove that it wasn't a can on the ground or so forth and so on.
Gotcha.
That's going to. So whenever we enter a space, hit that record button, keep it running
And then
through the
got
whole-
it.
until we leave. And then, because in between spaces, you're going to recreate the Blair Witch Project, and we don't need to record that.
You might need to remind him.
It's okay. I do it all the time. It's my job. But anyway, so the son and the nephew, Charles and Charles, were both signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. So in case you didn't know that or recognize the names, that's where you're at. So
Gotcha.
I hate politics. We're going to move on. But if I don't give both Charleses that recognition, they're going to do it for me through a spirit box in a very negative manner, like nasty messages, basically. Anyway, let's move on to Eliza. That's where the big story is here anyway. Eliza marries Charles at a young age according to today's standards. So if you're going to ask her how old she was when she got married, don't expect numbers from the colonial days that she came from, like 12 and 14, when young ladies got married.
So she was old and he was young, or vice versa? She was young and he was old, right?
She was young according to our standards.
Like 12, 13.
But
yeah.
Charles was over double.
That's how history used to be, man. People didn't live long enough to...
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why they got
Guy
married
in
so
them
young.
childbearing years.
By the way, I'm not going to be giving you questions here like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did with the Big Red Barn. This is where I start withholding that info. But anyway, she married Charles because her father was over in England, where she's from, and he thought he was dying. He's trying to bring all of his kids home one last time. Eliza didn't believe he was dying. She stayed put, got married. In 1744. You don't get married in that particular year to get a green card because we are not a country yet.
Yeah.
So she did marry him out of love. This is a true love story. Nothing horrific about this whatsoever. And she was right. Dad did not die right away. Instead, he starts sending her gifts from England to where we're standing. One of those gifts happened to be the plant seeds of indigo.
Nice.
That's a plant that makes blue dye, in case you guys weren't familiar with it. I figured you would. You guys are in Merle's only, I figured. Anyway, but when she got her seeds, she didn't know what to do with them. She had to learn from the servants and slaves how to keep it cultivated. And you're not bothering me with that cigarette, by the way. I don't. Again, I smoke regular straight tobacco. But when she learned how to make the dye, she actually moved to a cash crop down by the Stono River. Got a hold of her dad, told him rice plantations are going downhill. She did have 3 plantations basically up and down the coast, and they were going to make a killing with the indigo. So we now have an international businesswoman during colonial days. So that's the boring business stuff of Eliza. It's going to be some weird bullshit stuff that's why you guys are actually here. So Eliza, we're going to talk about her death, basically. You're going to be asking and focusing on questions. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I was trying to get you to talk, but you're going to basically be telling me whatever you hear. But your focus questions are going to be her death. She's pretty open about it. She already knows.
Do I ask them out loud?
You can if you want.
Okay.
Again, some people just like to focus and see what occurs.
A video of me.
It's going to be all over YouTube.
Let's see if you got ghosts with you.
So the 4 major questions that we get answers to are how old she was when she died, what she died from, where she's buried, which president was a pallbearer at her funeral. So those are 4 major things. They're obviously not yes/no questions. Keep in mind that whenever, this is why I like to use
Her name's Eliza.
Eliza, E-L-I-Z-A. I have nothing going on here.
Now, who was the pallbearer president?
Eliza,
not telling
how
you
old
guys
were
yet.
you?
Not yet.
I'm waiting to see if she gets the
Look,
answer.
I got Google, bro.
I don't give a shit what you got. I've had people cheat and I catch them and kick them out.
So this was a whole mansion right here?
Yeah,
And they knocked it down?
Mansion probably came to about right here. And then, of course, she had like what they called a garden because she was English.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically behind that was where the servant and slave quarters were. And it actually went past the median that we see here.
You said which ones were the servants and slave quarters, or they're not here anymore?
So we will get things from the servants and slaves. I just can't prove any of it.
Yeah.
That's the problem, because there's no record.
You said it was that building or that one?
No.
What?
Back here.
Okay.
They were all
Knocked
sitting
down.
back here. Yeah.
We got you.
She
Man,
said
that sucks. They knocked it down.
drunk.
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 So this is probably one of the most highest EMF places I've ever, because I frequent this place all the time. So your TV set's going to give you between a 40 to 60, right? Microwave about 150 to 170.
Yep.
Highest I've ever seen this guy go is 214 at this location.
Really?
Yes. So
That's
the
cool.
average for this location is 18 to 22 milligauss. So that's usually the expectation is between 18 to 22. So again, haven't gotten anything over 2.5 yet, but I just pulled it out. So we'll kind of see what we get as we kind of poke around here.
Now, do you think it's more susceptible to certain areas of where the house would be?
It's different every night. Different every single night. I never know where it's going to be, so I just kind of give it a couple of laps and kind of see what's going on. Keep in mind, this device is usually assigned to somebody other than me.
Yeah. Oh!
Yeah, so I wait for them to screen things out as I'm talking on spirit box. We'll see what's going on. Come on, Eliza, where you at? Whatever you hear, just shout.
Static.
Just keep shouting things out. Bring it up front here in just a minute. So these are usually fast. So usually if I get a spike and it goes back down pretty low, man-made objects will normally be like 5.1, 4.9, 5.6. It'll kind of vary in that area. This went from 5.9 down to 1.3. So I get that 5.9 recorded, but I want to see what else she's got going on. Eliza, where did you go? You got to point us in the right direction so we can at least get a few words out of you. From 5.9. Stuff I don't always follow up with in real time because the cameras are small.
Yeah.
So if I'm asking Asia more questions of what she's hearing, 18.2.
Y'all got any cigs?
Nah, man. Sorry, bro.
All right, thank you. Hey, come on, bro.
Just had an 18.2, so you know. So quick spike.
Maybe one of those guys looking for steak. I'm kidding.
You're a Big John.
Pretty decent readouts. Again, we didn't get much out of this place the other night.
Now, how often do you do a tour?
I'm open 7 nights a week.
Nice.
Unless it's raining, nobody books, which is a rarity. Weather will have a big impact on that, obviously, if it's too cold.
Yeah.
I've had people cancel because it's this cold. Come on, Asia, you're the star right now. What do you
It's
got?
just static.
You want
Did you stop
hot
it?
hands, baby?
You
Yeah.
did.
Oh,
That's why.
You want hot hands?
no.
Okay.
My hands are always cold.
Yeah, you hit something, that's why you're not getting anything. You were listening to another recording when I put it on a certain setting for another location.
Sorry.
That's why she's not talking to you.
I was looking.
So try not to hit these. It's only that one. You got it. You're good. That's why you guys keep me around. Just fix the shit, right?
What would we do without you?
I know. Is that what it said?
No. Damn, I'm exhausted. That song.
Is that the lyric you heard? That could be a good explanation of why I'm not seeing much.
A man with a child.
Do you have ghosts around me?
I don't think I've had anybody do a selfie with her before. Nice job, man. Man with a child. few minutes.
Where I come from, beer is a good thing.
Where I come from, beer is a good thing.
All I can
Is that a country song? Nice. Your butt's super hot, babe.
Oh, I haven't heard that joke before.
It lights up, man.
It just means she farted, man. That's all that means.
This picks up gas too, doesn't it? It does. So don't be farting.
Jesus.
Hey, don't be farting around me. It'll pick up your fart.
Fart.
You can fart, babe. I don't care.
We'll just have it on video.
Right? These are like the ones they have in the airport where they go by and you'll see somebody like on the,
Oh, really?
Fires.
what is it?
What was the last one?
Fires.
That's actually relevant. More about the fire. Can you give us a date? You can give us the date. I won't be angry at all. Give us the date. When did that fire occur?
It's crazy how cold the ground is compared to everything around it.
Well, you gotta remember the different types of material will hold on to the sun's heat
Yeah.
a lot differently.
Like these walls, I guess they have lights on the other side of them.
They got lights on the inside, actually.
Oh, okay. You can see how it's much warmer. Certain areas. Retaining all that sun heat.
Yeah, this is gravel. This isn't gonna hang on to it
Nah.
the same way. But this is gonna hang on. But yeah, there's lights right here. Motion lights. Come on. I've tested them a million times with my different electrical meters. 11.6, I'll take it. 35.8.
Nice.
Thank you, Eliza. What are you hearing? Anything? 35. Asia, you got anything? Well, we're focused on her death right now. Although I did ask, because you did hear the word fires, and that's actually what happened to the mansion. It actually burned down. If she could give us the date, because oftentimes if you hear the word fire, burning, or blaze, you'll get 2 or 3 numbers from the date. So let's see if I got anything here. Yeah, a whole lot of nothing on this guy. So we'll give you about another minute to see if you get anything, and then I'll show you what all the answers are and show you how it all ties together.
Okay. Nine?
Was that?
9?
No, but I'll take it. We don't know what that means yet.
You live it, we play it.
This thing's pretty sweet, man. I got a small one, a little monocular one for hunting,
Okay.
and it is nothing compared to this thing. Like it'll pick a deer up out in the field, but
My next
No.
one is probably I'm just gonna get the same camera but attach it to an iPad, so that way we have a much bigger
Yeah.
screen.
Oh,
Because I have
yeah.
an SLS camera attached to an iPad and it uploads a lot quicker. Just a lot easier to work with. I hate to say that about Apple because I'm not a fan of Apple products,
Yeah.
but they are very quick. All right, let's get you turned down. So let me kind of give you the answers and show you how this actually ties together. You could go ahead and stop your. I used to put those in my shoes too.
yeah, they got the feet ones now, man. I love them. I will throw those in my boots when I go sit in the stand.
I've got pants that are
recording?
fleeced or lined with fleece. Have you ever worn those? Warmest thing you'll ever wear in your life.
What is it?
They're pants, but they're lined with fleece.
I ain't worn those.
They have leggings like that now that look like
Funny.
there's
These are
another
boys-
one.
Yep, this is a very popular alley. We're actually going to stop right here by the gate. Yeah, you can record this. I mean, just keep it just like that. Belly shot is usually what I tell people. Yeah. So, again, very popular spot, obviously. Even on a cold night, every ghost tour comes down here. I was actually looking to take this spot out, just because it is another cliche, and every ghost tour comes here. So if you've done one, you've been down here before. But anyway, so here's where we're at. We're at Philadelphia Alley right now. So this used to be called Duelers Alley. So they're fine, they're not coming down. I actually know that. I tour as kind of a refresher a few weeks ago. So it was kind of like, I didn't realize she was a tour guide.
Yeah.
And then I seen her like we crossed paths, and I'm like, Gia? She's like, hi, I really enjoyed spending time with you. You're telling people the same stories I told you. Anyway, it's okay to have spies. I'm all right with it. It's flat. But anyway, so, and the guy, by the way, the guy at the end that said, hey, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, 2 weeks ago, because I was in the newspaper on Halloween, like I was the front page story.
Sweet.
So the newspaper team came out and I gave them my full camera, right? They loved it, full front page story, and nobody has said, like, I don't have friends in this industry, so all of a sudden, they're all starting to notice me. So that guy apparently some of my guests heard him telling his guests, if you want to actually go use equipment, that's Nick, you need to go talk to him. So I was kind of like,
That's
oh,
cool.
shit.
Yeah, actually give you a shout out.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
all right.
appreciative.
I try to actually stay on the DL here because we are in the Holy City, and this could be a very bad thing in the Christian eye. You get my point. But anyway, this is Duelers Alley.
Yeah, there's a lot worse.
Yeah.
Showed your history guy. There's
Well,
there's a little ghost
And
behind
honestly, I'm an English guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about the research.
it. Yeah.
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 So I have to know the history.
That is what I should tell the manager at my work to do. He's all about history. He should do history tours.
Yeah, that'd be
Because
cool.
he doesn't want to, he wants to be there
He's
because he
out
likes
Longs,
us, but he
though, isn't he?
doesn't. There's no future for him there.
Yeah.
He
Where
can't
do you
go
work?
up. I work at the Brickhouse Lounge in Surfside, the bowling alley bar.
Okay.
Right there, they have a lot of concerts and stuff like that. But he is like kitchen manager.
Gotcha.
And he,
He's a big history buff.
Yeah,
Big
super
history.
nice
He's a
guy.
cool guy.
So I actually left Myrtle Beach. When I came down here, I was in retail management for over 20 years. Like higher management for Walmart.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
doing pretty well. I just hated it.
Yeah.
So when I moved down here and I had the opportunity, somebody actually heard my podcast. It's just ghost hunting was just a hobby. He got a hold of me and said, "Dude, you're a great storyteller. Can you tell me a little bit about what your background is? I'd like to pull you into this new tour company." I'm like, "Dude, first, tour guides don't make any money. Like I was making
Yeah.
6 figures with Walmart.
Yeah.
Like, come on."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he talked me into it, and I rolled the dice and gave up 6 figures. And I was kind of like, I do equipment. Like that's
Yeah.
not something anybody in the country is doing
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
true.
So we gave it a shot, and then I realized I was doing all of the work.
well, I
so,
don't think he's making 6 figures.
so at this point,
He might be. You
No,
don't know.
he is not.
You get.
kitchen manager could be.
Not at
yeah.
the bowling alley.
Okay.
No.
So,
It's like a snack bar.
but at the
you
same
know?
time, when I twisted this up, I wanted to make sure I had the dragged husbands covered with the history part. I had the enthusiast covered with the equipment, and the fact that I can tell a story and keep it straight. That just makes for a well-rounded. And again, this isn't scripted. I just have to tell some of the same lines based on Spirit Box work. So again, I don't break away from the conversation, like what we're doing right now with every single group, because not everybody's, how do I put this, personable, so to speak. So again, we're breaking away a lot because we're all finding that we actually like each other, right? So
That
So is
light's
this like your
flickered.
spot and you're not allowed to stop at their spots? Their spots?
no,
You don't want
I
to
stopped at
designate-
this spot for
That
a
light
piece of history.
flickered.
I saw.
Yeah, it flickered. A lot of people.
Just
I'm
Short.
just messing with you, dude.
So anyway, let's kind of get into why we're here.
Yes, sir.
Duelers Alley. This is where some of the duels occurred because dueling was illegal in the 1700s and they didn't find hiding spots. This happened to be one of the hiding spots. So, and by the way, we stopped here because of the gate. I tell you about the gate, nobody else will. That's why I always
Can I
choose
go
this
through
spot.
it?
No, you can't go through.
Edward?
Come on. Hey, Gia. How's it going?
Good.
Staying warm?
Oh, yes.
You got that hat on. Of course you're staying
Oh,
warm.
yeah, you know it. You know it. Plus, I had a women and wine earlier.
So, in a nutshell, every tour tells the same story. I'm just going to give you a few extra details because you're ghost hunting. You're doing campfire marshmallow kind of ghost tour. Here's how it goes. A doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. If if you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl while you're down here, or it just
I know that
shows up, then it's not uncommon for us to hear it because it's part of his name.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who sang it. He doesn't give a shit. He's using the word brown to tell us that he's here. You getting my point?
Is that Jim Morrison? Sings that?
Yes, actually, I think you're correct. Sorry, I had to go back into my
really
former
sorry.
musician days. But anyway, he moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. Basically, she has an attorney helping her out with all of the cash flow. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. He tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. So he comes here to Charleston to prove that he's not. On his way into town, the coachman he had set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a good start to his stay here in Charleston.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's kind of like having a really bad Uber driver, by the way. He drives you off and you're going to die.
I don't like them.
So,
Uber drivers.
most of them suck.
I avoid them.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine what they look like. In
I did have one
location.
real cool one in Colorado, though. That
Yeah,
was
they're pretty bad in Myrtle Beach.
Somebody was walking by and seeing that the doctor was going through this whole scandal, and his name was Ralph Isaacs. I stopped on Ralph because he has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. We were getting the letters RI all the time on spirit boxes, so I bought another device that acts like a Ouija board, but it uses EMF, like the device in my jacket here. So basically, anytime EMF spikes, it would give us a letter. I wanted the specific letters. We've had it about half a dozen times in about a year's time span that I've had that little Ouija device. Anyway, back to Ralph. He tells the doctor, dude, I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me. We're going to go to my friend's house at 59 Church Street. They'll rent you a room and you'll be safe. Doc took him up on the offer. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point that he's not after Amanda's money, and she gets wind of it, and she's going to move down so they could be married. Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. It's part of the reason why I was going to take this out of my routes is because whistling ghosts are a cliche. Every haunted city you're going to visit has a whistling ghost. Anyway, Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. Now, they go see Richard III one night, and on their way home, they're talking about the new actress that was in the play. Dr. Ladd thought she was great, and Ralph didn't. It turns into an argument, and then Ralph starts insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It got really ugly. They went their separate ways. But Ralph has friends. He went to his friends at the newspaper, put an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thought of the doctor. Kind of a you're a disgrace to society kind of bullshit. Doc saw the ad but rebutted with, we're going to go to Duller's Alley. We're going to settle this shit. Somebody's going to die.
Dueling pistols?
Yeah, pretty much. So, and by the way, this whole
Did
argument
he
started...
slap him with the glove, too?
He wasn't
Sorry.
there.
Could have been. You never know.
Yeah, you never
You don't know
know.
who the hell you signed up with,
Maybe
right?
you're a ghost.
They did come down. They took their 10 paces away from each other.
Yeah.
They turned. The doctor pointed his gun in the air and shot his one shot. He didn't want to kill his friend.
Yeah.
He just wanted to have the courage to show up, which is often what happens. Ralph has his one bullet. He puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc didn't die, but he fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home, 59 Church Street. He died 10 days later on November 2nd of 1786, after refusing medical treatment. Two things. It's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different back then than they are now.
Yeah.
Secondly, he's a doctor. He probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself. By the way, we are allowed to go to 20 people. I just don't do it.
I don't blame you.
I mean, look at the
Can't
size
get
of
out
this
what you want to say. You know?
Well, I think-
Nobody can hear
I don't have
you.
enough gear. That's the other thing. I actually, when I have 12 people, which is my max during the week, because I only take 10 on the weekends,
Yeah.
because it's just like this the whole way around, I actually memorize everybody's names.
Yeah.
I have you all down
Makes
pat.
it easier,
Yeah.
too. Hell
Well,
yeah.
it's personalized at that
Yeah.
point. So, I mean, a lot of my reviews will actually put out, he remembered our damn names. It's like, yeah, I'm a writer. You're all characters. That's how I do it. But anyway, so every ghost story will tell you, listen for the whistles. Even with the air conditioner running, exactly. Everybody says to listen for the whistles because it's always quiet down here. We actually have a camera running, hopefully. Did you hit the record button? Yes,
Yeah.
you did. Plus my voice recorder. If we're going to capture it, it's more than likely going to be on one of these two devices. However, on your spirit box, we have gotten whistling parts of songs and the word doctor from a commercial immediately after. Doctor, we get it all the time. So, I mean, it's just him letting us know he's here. Part of the reason why I'm not taking this out of my route is because during the weekends, I usually, once the summer hits and busier season, I'm going to be taking out the new location for the weekends only because it's too busy on that corner. You're going to see we need it super quiet.
Yeah.
So you'll see that once we get to that location. But we will get things from
He's not
the
good
doctor.
at that, so
What's that?
super quiet when we get there.
Sorry, my ADHD kicks in.
Oh no,
and
he'll be the one listening in. You'll see. It's a whole new device. So we're not going to be just using what we have out now. Like, we're going to be tinkering around with different stuff on our last 2 stops. So remember, I told you that I didn't tell you this yet. I've actually been kicked out of here. If you're going to, by the way, go through this alley all the way by yourself, because I can't take you all the way through it, I've been kicked out, like I said.
Kicked out. Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm getting to that. That's the fun part. If you're gonna walk through without me and use your voice recorders from your phones, just remember every local knows the story.
Yeah.
Anybody walking up and down either one of the 2 streets on the side, throw a whistle down the alley.
Yeah.
I already showed you where my old garage used to be. My office is up on the next corner. I used to pass by the alley every morning between 3 or 4 o'clock and always throw a whistle down ever since I got thrown out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. So apparently somebody's interested. First off, you need to know why I used to do this. So the alley didn't go all the way through this way. There was a wall up there halfway between us and Cumberland Street. Another reason why I stopped at the gate. Now, that wall was there because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. This used to be called Cow Alley. What does that mean for you guys? That means that the bricks
Cows.
down on the far end are older than the ones we're standing on. Those are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down there and fingerprint swipes and others. I used to take my groups all the way through for a history lesson, nothing paranormal, because that brick is the last place you're going to find that kid. He's not there. I treat it the same way I do a grave. November 26th of 2020. I'll never forget that date for the rest of my life. My entire group was huddled around that brick waiting for something to happen with the equipment that I handed out. I know nothing's going to happen, so I'm trying to shoo them along. Also because it's outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm just trying to be respectful, not realizing I was out of bounds for tours. So, agree with this. So the new owner came out screaming. My daughter was on the tour that night. She thought it was hysterical because Dad's getting yelled at, and we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. You already know I worked for Walmart for a long period of time. I don't do Thanksgiving ever again in my life, but you guys fight over towels and scarred me for life. The next day, November 28th, I called my partner that I had that I've already told you about. I told him what happened. He laughed his ass off just like my daughter did because he told me we're only allowed to go down halfway, which is about where that group is standing right there. They're actually probably past it.
You can't walk the whole way?
Nope, it's residential. So, can't be in residential areas after a certain hour.
Yeah.
So, he's told me I have to reroute my group. It scared me a little bit because the rest of my tour was that way. I now have to go that way. So what I told my group that night was I don't believe in the next story because I've never had anything happen there. And it's pirates. I'm a vampire guy. Sorry, guys. We'll do what we can. So we go up and around the corner. I told them a little bit about piracy in Charleston that I did know because I only had a few hours to do some quick research. And in a nutshell, somebody with a spirit box, here's the name Anne on, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The female pirate, Anne Bonny. So it's kind of like, oh shit, maybe we're going to get something. We go up and around the corner. I told them what I did know about piracy. Somebody else heard the number 300. I don't know what that one means. So I write it down, I do the research while I'm going through their data, and it turns out we were there November 28th of 2020, Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 17. We were there on the exact 800 Street of Brooklyn. So, I actually have a master's degree in creative writing. I also have a bachelor's degree in English and journalism. I need facts and data, especially when I'm doing this, simply because it has to match. Pirate stories come from pirate lore. So that was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy. That's a problem for me because that just means more books to be able to verify the information.
Yeah.
What we're going to be doing at the next location is basically every line I'm going to tell you came from at least a minimum of 2 resources. So kind of keep that in mind when we go up there because it's a shit ton of research. I just wanted to make sure our 15 minutes of fame was legit when we get up there. The gate behind me, remember I told you that the alley didn't go all the way through that way? If there was a loser to the duel over here, this was the gate to get to the cemetery on the other side of that wall. So I call this the death gate, but not a whole lot of people know why it's actually there. So
Nice.
so it's just one of those pieces that I just like to show off a little bit. So after this group passes, we're going to actually follow them. We're going to head over to my office real quick so you guys can use the restroom.
Sweet, thank you.
And then we will go over to the Powder magazine and we will be able to fully investigate where you'll be able to hear things from this story. Probably just show. Alright, so again, you'll get responses from both locations. So hopefully you'll hear things from...
Blood?
Blood. Is that what you heard?
Was.
see what else we got on my word list before we head over that way. Yeah, well, they got the word bride. That's about the closest thing, and that to me is even still kind of weak.
Yeah.
So it's kind of vague. All right, let's head over to my office real quick. It also has our quick bolts on all
actually
four
live in
sides.
there?
Yeah.
Those are what those are. The square ones.
Yep.
Okay.
Those are Peach Square, so just a lot more modern than these ones,
Yeah.
because this is the first set that Charleston ever put in. The reason being is this is the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713, so it's the only one that's still standing. So we're here because this building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny was coming to this area to start her new life. So the building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government? Small building, 10 years?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
not at all. But anyway, the history of Anne Bonny starts right in the middle of that. So try to follow me on this one. There's a couple of twists, and then we'll get your spirit box cranked up. We'll do our investigation here like what we did at the Pinckney Mansion site, and then I will explain the last two stops because it's a little different than what we've been doing. I do like to change it up so you guys don't get bored.
Yeah.
So 1708, a young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormack. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. You with me so far?
Yep.
The three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How pissed was the wife that she kicked them out of the country? So don't piss her off. She'll
Yeah.
put you up to Canada. And we have planes. They
Yeah,
did
right.
not. So they only had boats. They landed in Georgetown. You guys know where that is. So Dad bought a plantation in Georgetown on one of the rivers. It's probably a rice plantation, is my guesstimate, based on the location of it. But Mom died pretty quickly after they arrived here. So that means Dad is now sending young Anne from Georgetown all the way down here to sell things from the plantation to keep things afloat. There's probably a good
At the
4-hour
slave
trip.
market?
Probably wherever she could.
Yeah.
So again, it wasn't necessarily going to be like crops. So if she was selling rice, she's
Yeah.
probably transporting the rice to business people down here.
Okay.
So with that said, your camera's upside down, by the way. Camera's on this. So then stop your video and restart it. It doesn't know the flippies, and I put all those little videos together.
Gotcha.
But anyway, back to Anne. So that's why this building is what we call a familiar. We don't have a whole lot of buildings this old. The new TV shows have this new device that they use for children ghosts. They call it a Boo Buddy. It's basically a teddy bear with a little blinky like K2 meter in it,
Do
right?
you sell those?
They do sell those.
Like for kids' toys?
They sell it for ghost hunters
Oh.
because it's got an EMF meter in it.
Okay.
So if the child ghost comes near it, because they recognize it as a toy, the bear lights up. That's the whole point. They also put a voice box in it, so if it gets touched, it says, "Hey, that tickles."
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of creepy all at the same moment. Yeah,
That's kind of cool, though.
It is.
That's cool.
I haven't used one.
Yeah.
but-
Bring one for the kids with the tour group.
You
That'd
ever
be
take
damn.
kids?
Take on a tour?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Sorry, we're interrupting you.
No, you're fine.
We got ADHD.
That's fine. It's a long one, so I try to rush through it. But think of that Boo Buddy, the teddy bear that I just told you about, and the same concept of the child recognizing the bear as a toy, and we recognize the building because there's not many buildings that old here in Charleston.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why we're here. Hopefully she's here at the same time we are, fingers crossed. So it's a big roll of the dice. Anyway, the building's done in 13, but by 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is stoked because she's going to fall in love with one of these guys so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. So first guy she falls in love with, and I said first because there's a handful. We're going to cover them all. That's what makes the story.
Dirty bird.
I know, right? First guy is James Bonny. See where this one's going already, because I've already told you her pirate name.
Yeah.
So Dad didn't approve. They ran away to Jamaica. They got married. Anne Cormack became Anne Bonny. That's where her pirate name came from. So when she gets down there, she realizes that her new husband is not Captain Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer, which means he's a spy for the British. He's basically a coward. This isn't who she wants. She falls in love again. Guy number 2. John Rackham. Everybody calls him Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character off of, just in case you were wondering. Jack has his own crew. He has his own ship. Anne wants to be part of that crew and ship. You cannot put a female on a pirate ship. And you know why?
Yeah.
Yes. Will they get raped?
It's bad luck.
It's bad luck. Thank you for keeping it family friendly. They just got a dirty mind. So
They can rape her.
I
It's
do
gonna
that on
happen.
purpose to see who's paying attention when I have my larger groups. Because if the parents start shuffling, I say keep it family friendly. But anyway, so he makes a deal with her. If you dress like a guy and look like the crew, you can be part of the crew. She's
Oh.
good with that. Why? Because Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland. She gets it. It's a man's world. But we're all adults here. Put 2 and 2 together. She's a female in Jack's quarters. She's eventually going to get pregnant. You can't have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out she's a girl and get rid of Jack because it's a democracy. They'll vote him off.
Yep.
He drops her off in Cuba. Go have the baby here, come back later, and we'll figure it out. She goes and has that baby, but returns without a child. We have no idea what happened to the baby, by the way. None of my research has ever discovered it.
Oh, wow.
So if we get a direct answer for that question, by all means. It's personal to you. I just can't prove it. She comes back dressed as a female as well. This makes Jack pretty mad because now everybody's going to know he let a girl on the ship, and it's bad luck. So, to make him even more mad, she's going to go flirting with the pirate crew he just captured. We're on guy number 3, in case you lost track. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy, to be part of the crew that Calico Jack just captured.
Nice.
Now we have 2 ladies dressed like males trying to be pirates.
Scissoring on the boat. I love it.
Her name is Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. Now, they became friends for sure. Lovers possibly. We're not really sure. Again, it's a 50-50 shot because of the history. But the British find out where they are. They send a fleet of Navy ships to come take down one measly pirate ship. Anne and Mary, rumor is, they were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with 1-bullet flintlocks, kind of like the dueling pistols.
Yeah.
So they come up, and obviously they don't know how to use cannon jets. They haven't been pirates for very long. But 2 ladies with 1-bullet guns are not going to take on a whole fleet of ships.
No.
So they get arrested. As they're being arrested, Anne looks at her beau and captain, Jack, and she says, "I'm sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up all the time on communication devices. Now, the judge wants to see the 2 men, quote-unquote, that fought back so valiantly on their own.
The women.
Exactly. He's already tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunk pirates that wouldn't fight. The 2 ladies go in front and reveal their gender, hoping to save themselves. The judge doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're still pirates. He's still going to hang them. Yeah. We plead our bellies was the last thing they shouted, because you can't hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. He sends them both back to jail and delays the hanging, but Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne and brings her home. She remarries.
She got out.
That's husband number 2, but guy number 4, because we're going to count Mary.
Yeah.
She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Very abrupt ending, because we really don't know jack shit about
Sweet
her after
life
her
for
pirate
her.
career. I know, right? Now, everything is up for speculation of what actually happened to her after her pirate career.
Yeah.
Mary Reed, the lover, possibly, she died 5 months later in that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates died from in a Jamaican jail.
Because she didn't get bailed out.
Right.
Yeah.
Only Dad bailed out his own daughter. So, I'm not going to control the situation like what I did at the Pinckney Mansion and tell you what to focus on. I'm just going to tell you what I left out of the story. So I did leave out the name of Anne's parents. That's the father and the mistress. I left out the name of the city she grew up in Ireland, the name of the boat for Calico Jack, and the color of Anne's hair. Everything else you want to ask or focus on is completely up to you. This is not a prominent, very prideful English woman. We're talking about a kick-ass pirate. Ask whatever the hell you want to. If you get direct answers to things I can't prove, they're personal to you only.
What happened to her baby?
Again, a lot of people do that. I don't care.
Is it it's not one of the 4 she had after, though?
No, it's the first baby.
Yeah, so technically 5 if she did have the child.
Thank you for paying attention.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, did she have 4 kids? I'm like, no, you're forgetting about the one in Cuba.
But did she secretly bring the one back in to make it the 4? Or did she have 4
I don't think I've had any.
Wait, didn't you tell me again the hair color?
I did not tell
He
you the hair
didn't. He
color.
was saying
No,
it
I
could be
know.
anything.
No, I didn't hear
What'd you
anything. I'm
hear?
just
Did you
trying
hear
to
red?
think.
A
No,
brown?
Oh, you want to know the other questions?
not the questions, but like what you didn't tell me. What didn't you tell me?
The names of her parents, the name of the ship, the city she grew up in, and her hair color.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Richard. I don't know. I don't know a
On
bunch
the
of
father?
Irish names. I'm not. I'm part Irish, English, and Cherokee.
Well, you have to remember that
So-
Ireland was part of England at one point, so
Yeah.
most of the first names are going to be English names.
Yeah. Is Richard an English name?
Richard's an English name, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought you said Irish at first.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe she snuck her daughter back in as one of the 4. Maybe she had somebody taking care of her. You know?
It does say whoever.
Yeah.
This
And,
has been kind of a dud. The only thing that's so far any relevant to where we are is the word Constitution, is only because that signer that we talked about earlier is buried across the street.
Okay.
So every once in a while,
Now,
I'll
what
get things
church
from
is
him.
this?
That's St. Philip's. That's
St.
our tallest
Philip's
steeple.
Church.
So if you ever get lost down here, just look for that steeple.
St. Philip's Church.
I'll tell you exactly where to go.
Sweet. How old is that church?
I want to say the first one was built 1718.
Jesus, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, you're. I mean, we're gonna go by another, like the 2 oldest churches that we have. This one and then St. Michael's.
We have a spot down the road from us in Surfside.
Gerald's Tires and Bricks.
It's a little park, but it's the story behind it is that's where they used to hang the black people or the slaves,
What part of town
bad
is that?
slaves. Surfside. There's a little area in Surfside. It's like a little park now, but it's still got the live oaks that they was said the branches they hung them from. And
You go out there and
we'll
do some
drive
review.
out there and We'll go sit in the park and walk the dog. And it's a cool spot, but
Kind of dog.
you gotta look into it. He's a mutt mixed between a lab and a cocker spaniel, but he's pretty sweet. He's a smart dog, but wild as shit. He's still young. It's
If you want to sit, you can sit right there on the wall. You can't hear me. If you want to sit,
you can sit.
you can sit right there. You don't have to stoop.
Now, how old is this building?
This is the one I just told you about. 1713.
How old is it? 1713. Okay.
So 311.
What would you say the door is for? Selling ammo out?
That one was probably for.
Sliding beers through in Prohibition? I think
It's hard to say
plumbing.
without.
That looks like plumbing right there.
Yeah, but 1713, they didn't have much plumbing.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Kitchen
Yeah.
vent? I don't know.
No, it's
They work
only,
with a lot of.
It only held gunpowder.
Yeah.
It was other things in between, mercantile, textile,
Yeah.
Operating, businesses, lawyer's office, that kind of thing. But it's just this whole construction of this building is fascinating. I don't talk about the architecture of it anymore because it bores the shit out of people.
Yeah.
But it is, it's got sand underneath the shingles because if it does get hit from the water from a pirate ship, it's got gunpowder in it, and the walls are so thick.
That'll.
It goes up in the air, and then the sand is supposed to fall to put out the fire.
That's
the gun.
smart.
It
That's
doesn't work
cool.
either. We had
Yeah.
another powder magazine where
Yeah.
that actually did get hit by a cannon, and it blew up, and the sand went up, but it burned to the ground. So
That's
the sand didn't work.
crazy. Like I'm sitting here trying to I don't even know where I'm at 'cause we got water all around us, right?
Yeah, this way. Right.
All this way. Okay.
Yeah, you guys are parked right over there.
Yeah.
Just so you have that idea.
Which way?
That way.
Okay.
So we are still only 2 blocks away from where
Yeah.
we started.
Okay.
The alley that we were just in, it runs this way. It's right there. Like right beyond that ivy wall over there.
Okay.
It's on the other side of that. That's the alley we were just in.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I said that, where they bury the bodies for the duel, the gate, it would be in the St. Philip's graveyard. What do you got? What do you got?
Anything?
Nothing?
Yeah, I think so.
You still sleeping?
Yeah.
What you got?
I don't expect a whole lot of EMF out here. That's why I'm not using this detector. It's if we do get anything, it's usually a quick spike in the back area. Over here, it's because
I
of the
heard
electric.
back.
Back.
And if you're here, we're not going to be here long if you're not going to give us any answers.
Goes around and back.
It's around and back.
Well, she left here, went around,
Like twice now.
came back.
Well,
Yes, and I'm thinking, should I go to the back?
we did
Should I
go around and then came back.
Well, she went around and went down to Jamaica and got married and came back.
Yeah. It's a stretch, but
Yeah.
I like facts. So when I spot check her recording, I leave you all the markers of what I find.
Okay.
So that way you guys can go and see it for yourself. or
That would be
hear it for
cool.
yourself.
That'd be cool later on.
And it honestly, with a 2 to 2.5 hour investigation of me in a private space, that will take me a few weeks to actually go through everything, like find tooth comb it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like I'm working on a thing now that I actually did the investigation in November for a private house, and I'm still working on the data. Like this is fucking January.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it takes some time.
Ghost.
Yeah, these are all ghost stories. Storytelling.
When we go jump out of the bushes at
Bird
some...
goes around again.
Did you? That's a song.
Is it a song?
Yeah.
Goes around, comes around. I don't know.
How long you been growing that beard out?
City.
I shaved, what, beginning of December? But I just trimmed.
Yeah.
I'll clean up my neck, trim it up a little bit. So, beginning of December? About a month and a half.
Good.
Starting to get my whites too.
Oh yeah, I got all that already.
Been plucking the bitches. It don't work.
I actually, the wife, yeah, I actually wanted the white in mine. So I was actually about as full as you are.
Yeah.
And then the wife's like, you need a new barber. Like, so that way you can actually get the haircut you want and they'll fade it right into your beard. So I was like, all right. So I started this new barber like close to our house. And that dude faded me up good. But
Nice.
the problem was he took too much.
32?
He took me off too much here. So I got another appointment. Like it was actually almost like my head was shaved like from here down. And
Okay.
it
Yeah.
faded in real nice. But I'm going to tell him this time, do the same thing, but keep all this. Like I want this to be long.
Gotcha.
So, but I use beard oil and beard cleansers and all kinds of shit that the wife
yeah.
bought me. She's like, yeah, if your face is going to get itchy, you're going to shave it off.
I've been using coconut oil, man. Some organic coconut oil. And that does wonders, man. It keeps it
Cream
keeps
oil makes
it
a
tight.
pretty nice.
Keeps it.
Well, she likes the smell of it because it's all the
But
same.
then I'll just let it go too. I'm just like, whatever. I don't give a shit.
I'm on this thing twice a day with a brush
Yeah.
and everything. Like I brush it before I leave the house and before I come down here because I know it'll. If I'm playing video games and the dogs are all
Yeah,
over me,
yeah.
My beard's a mess before I leave. So I make sure I at least brush it through. But yeah, looking like you took me about a month.
Nice.
So this is about 3 weeks right here, like of him, trimming it down. But I went with the V-neck, so that way it looks longer here.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's going to give me some girth. Thinking you guys might need to swap.
Yeah,
Give
sure.
this thing a
Let's
listen,
give it a
man.
shot.
Believe it or not, guys are better at that.
Yeah.
And you would think that, no offense, but females being chatty Cathy's, that you guys would be better, but it's not that way.
On me somewhere.
Camera on your left. Camera on your left. There you go.
Give me-
buttoned down. There you go.
So your volume, so you know. Nope. Opposite side. Right there.
Sweet.
So slap those headphones on and start shouting out whatever you hear. If you're too loud, I'll go like this. Some people are too loud on there.
I'll be that guy.
You will be
Probably.
that guy. I figured as much. That's why I didn't give you the warning and I gave it to him. Sorry, we were having a beard talk while you were under.
Oh, you're good. You're 57, 60 degrees, 61. Sorry, I didn't think you wanted. I didn't want you to think I was stealing your camera. I turned around. I was like, "Ooh!"
What, man?
I didn't want him to think I was stealing his thing. I
I'm
was
pretty
like
fast
walking.
with the bag.
I just
Don't
walk
worry, I'll
off.
catch you.
Is this someone's house right here?
Apartment.
I was gonna videotape through their window, but never mind.
There's
Yeah.
actually a basement to the
Oh,
car
okay.
magazine. They actually have access. There's like a little access just so they can have somewhere to.
You hear anything?
Yeah, the radio.
Yeah, tell me what you hear.
You gotta listen. You gotta
I'm
ask
lucky.
questions. Oh, was I supposed to have that up the whole
I
time?
don't know.
I actually
Just
prefer you
pulled
guys
it
have
up.
it down.
Oh, down.
Only because if I lose it, you won't get any reception at all. But So you got that thing
course.
recording too? Is that a square?
Yeah.
And the slower you move with that, the easier it is to watch because I do watch it in double time.
Okay.
Because I only spot check that too. So every 5 minutes, I basically watch 2 minutes. It's easier to find an anomaly when it's going twice as fast. So you guys
Go
might
back
like
to
this.
Tennessee. Country song.
Is that a horse? Oh my goodness. I'll get the horse. He's supposed to be listening.
He is. He's got one ear on. Something stands out, he'll shout it out.
I'm multitasking.
You can't do that. You already know this.
Wilson wants us to go to dinner tomorrow night.
Maybe.
Okay.
I got a whole lot of nothing. You got anything?
Nope.
Besides Lucky and 32? Which I don't know what the hell that 32 means. Because that can't even be a date. Do you know what I mean? Because there's only 31 days
Oh
a month.
yeah, I was just yelling out what I
Well,
heard.
that's
Clear.
the thing is normally names and numbers
Yeah.
don't lie.
Yeah.
Like that's usually a big factor for me. All right, so I say we
I heard no names.
I'll give you the answers to the quick questions, and I'll tell you about the next location. So
Okay.
you can continue to listen if you want, but I'm going to set the bag down for just a minute. Show you the answers, and then so you guys remember that heated warning I told you at the top? Remember heated headache, nausea, dizziness? This is the reason why. Is this location? Sometimes females can't come in here, like they have heart palpitations and things like that.
Oh, I have
This
that normally. So.
I've had people literally be adamant
Really?
about not wanting to come in.
Oh well.
So they don't.
This area here,
This-
or
yep.
where we're going?
Nope, right here where
Here.
we're at.
Okay.
But the other part of that reasoning is because about 2 years ago, month of September, I always take my groups to the back because I try to stay out of the way of the other tours during busy season. So I took my group to the back, and the kid next to me, and I call him a kid because he's like 21, 22 years old. He's starting to faint. Like, he's not doing so great. As white as it goes, and he's dropping. I have to pick him up by his armpit, like literally, so he doesn't hit his head on the ground. His boyfriend picked him up from the other side of him and brought him over here, sat him down. He's feeling better, and he was okay for me to continue on. Normally, I'd have to call the paramedics, but he was fine. However, this used to be the last stop, so I do change this every year. I take out one spot and add a new one. But anyway, I told the story of Ann Bonnie, spread everybody out because I told like 3 stories here, so I got people across the street with my cameras and shit and that kind of thing. These 2 guys pulled me aside. Nick, we gotta tell you, we are 2 transgender males. 2 females dressed like males, just like Ann and Mary in the story.
Oh wow.
On the tour, so that was a big deal.
Yeah.
So it made sense, but it was still unexplainable. That's the weird shit that I see of why I give those heated warnings every night.
Oh, gotcha.
So that is a real thing for me. It's not a scare tactic. It is a real thing. So let's go over these answers. And then I'll explain the next 2 stops because they are completely different. And the next one's actually a murder mystery, Asia, so you'll enjoy it. So, yes, I listen to you guys too. You told me you enjoy murder mysteries. This is Ann Bonnie. You can actually stop your recording at this point. So,